Hey, what is happening, San Diego? Welcome to it. Middle of the week, Gwynn and Chris get together. 97.3 The Fan. Chris, hello. Popping up on the screen. Took me a moment there. I was running a second or two behind. Tony Gwynn Jr. is there at Petco Park. And Mr. Scraby. Before we go anywhere, Tony, last night, brilliant in your presentation on television. Watching the game with my wife, she could not stop talking about how you were dressed to the tens last night on the telecast.
Thank you, sir.
Spectacular.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Lori.
Yeah, Miss Lori. I told her, I said, what are you talking about? I didn't even notice what you were wearing. So
Don't take my shirt off.
That's what Tony told every woman on the way out.
You looked good, Tony. You looked good. Here's the deal. We got to get to it quick because we have a much shorter show today. Game is an hour earlier this evening. So Sam Levitt's pregame show at 4:40. I know Tony's got to get ready for his telecast with Don Orsillo. So we'll get to it here. But we got the regular Wednesday stuff coming up, and Chris versus the fans and Big Five and all that. Here's the deal. Last night, the scoreboard said the Padres lost. The standings said that the Padres lost. The reaction of everybody filing slowly out of, Petco Park last night said they lost. But ultimately they won. And I don't really look at that game last night any differently than that. Michael King went out, gave him 5 really clean innings. Of course, he made a couple of mistakes. What do you expect after 4.5 months?
Yeah.
But as long as he shows up to the ballpark today feeling well, and I suspect that he will, that was a thumbs-up evening, I must tell you, for the Padres. It hurt to lose the game. I don't want to lose the game either, but the bigger picture, I thought was big last night, Tony, and I thought he looked really good. Maybe you had a little better look at it because I was at the game. I wasn't breaking down the tape like I usually do. But what'd you think?
he was good, man. I think he had far less rust than I thought he was going to have.
Yeah.
And, really, quite frankly, the one homer, the first homer was the one, really the 2 homers that he gave up were, misplaced sinkers. They ended up a little bit over the play. I think one was a misplaced sinker, one was a sweeper that didn't sweep. And that's what happens when you haven't thrown. I mean, he's got the same amount of starts and probably, more diced up time than Darvish has had, right? Darvish didn't pitch and then he just pitched and he's pitched since. You had Michael start the year, go to the IL, come back, one start, go back to the IL. And I thought he was pretty sharp, man, for missing all that time. Obviously, the Padres end up on the losing side of things and they lose a game from the Dodgers in the division. They fall spot back from the Cubs who won last night.
Yeah.
But I think that, as I said yesterday, if he gave you 4, you would have felt pretty good about, and it was healthy, right?
Right.
You felt pretty good about it.
Yeah. When he came in the 5th inning and I looked in the bullpen, there wasn't really anybody throwing yet. I thought, wow, not only is he going 4, but he feels good to go 5 because they weren't even protecting him right away.
Oh, by the way, he threw 63 pitches.
Yeah,
it was pretty clean. Could have gone longer.
Yeah, it was pretty clean. It was
clean. So, yeah. I mean, you got to – yes, it sucks to lose that game, obviously, especially the way they did it. They got back in it. Looked very similar to the night before, right?
Yeah.
They had nothing going.
Right.
And then, boom, they put up the 2 runs. I think the other thing that people should, pull from yesterday, Jackson Merrill looks like he's starting to heat up again. And especially considering, for most of the season, while he was healthy, he was hitting in the 4 spot, right? And if he's going to swing the bat the way he has the last 3 games, it'd be nice to be able to slide him up in that 4 spot with Manny kind of struggling the way that he is right now. It would just be a little more support there. And so I those are the 2 things that I kind of pulled from last night, despite the kind of terrible way it ended.
Yeah, it was, they're 2 right. You get to a game in the 6th inning, and we've said it 100 times. Your bullpen's in the game, their bullpen's in the game. Their bullpen is among the worst in the league. and statistically has been, I believe, the worst in the league for the last couple of months. So
we didn't give them enough time to do what they do, really.
What
right?
do you mean? We were swinging too many pitches and
no,
early,
I just
or?
mean like we needed to get through that ninth inning there, right?
Yeah.
Like you get through that ninth of the zero. Now the pressure starts to mount a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You get into some of their not so high leverage guys. And now you get to start to pick away as the Padres did
right
the night before. But Suarez ended up falling behind, and you fall behind at a big level, no matter how hard you throw, guys can start kind of anticipating.
It's a reminder. It's a reminder, guys. I mean, I said it to somebody. I mean, you're Michael King, or you could be anyone else who's throwing, Mason Miller. We've even seen. We saw it against Gurriel. You put the ball in the wrong place, these big league hitters can still hit it. It is quite remarkable. And that was a mistake. I mean, you walk with 2 outs and, give up the home run. It was disappointing for sure. I also want to give myself some of the blame. Fair up. I want to square up and take my share of the blame here. I was going to say many of the listeners probably blamed me for the loss anyway.
Oh no, I was feeling the heat about an Ellie De La Cruz home run last night. So.
Oh, that's right. You called. You said he hadn't hit one in months
since like July 28th or something.
Yeah, but no, this honestly happened in the 9th inning. We were at the game last night. My wife and I, and we had some friends of ours, Scott and Elizabeth, good friends, came to the game. We did get to sit up in the Odyssey suite.
Whoa!
Yes, I know. About once a year, they regale us with that opportunity.
Regale us,
right? So we were sitting in the big leagues up there and having a good time. Michael Valenzuela, our market manager, was up there hosting, and so it was a nice night. And we're sitting there, and my wife and her friend Elizabeth, they talked to each other like they hadn't seen each other in 10 years. I don't think they stopped talking to each other the whole game, and I don't think they even know yet that the game is over. Like they just were paying no attention to anything that was happening. It was hilarious. Scott and I were having a good time talking baseball and all this other stuff. But they got to the, top of the 9th inning there, 2 outs, and the guy walked. And for some reason, I turned to my wife during a quiet moment in her conversation and said, I hope you guys are ready to settle in. Could be getting some extra innings tonight. And I swear to you, the next pitch sailed over the wall.
Holy shnikes! This is trouble.
Unbelievable. Like the next pitch. So I'm taking the blame for,
you should.
For jinxing it, I guess.
You should. I'm not even going to.
It's all your fault.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to cover up my disdain for you right now.
As a matter of fact, if you look at the ESPN standings right now, it still has the Padres record at 79-65 with 1 loss charged to me.
Charged to CE.
CE. I'm in the CE column.
Can I tell you guys what bothers me about baseball sometimes? Baseball in general, but I'm speaking obviously from the Padres perspective. When everybody tells you that Zach Littell gives up doubles, gives up homers, he gives up everything basically, and then the Padres can't get any sort of extra base hits off of him. Why does this seem to happen to the Padres? I know it happens everywhere.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was going to.
It drives me insane when we spend the entire show bringing up the stats about how bad Zach Littell has been this year, and the Padres can't even get on base. That drives me insane.
We never said he was bad, actually. We said he gives up home runs, which he did not do, but we said he's a really good pitcher, and he showed that last night, and he stayed away from the home run, and that's why he was successful.
I promise you, I said the same thing last night as we were going through our elements on TV. I was like, man, we putting these 30 however many homers up, man. It just feels like it's setting us up for failure.
It's dangerous, yeah. It's dangerous.
We're gonna show the screen and the balls that he's throwing that are getting hit out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
Can
somebody else also under the same umbrella line of thinking here? Again, my friend Scott, he's good
Man,
good Padre fan. Scott getting some love on the show. He deserves it. He's a good guy. But he said this at least 6 different times last night to me, straight up. I can't stand it. Every time we're at Petco Park, all of our fly balls get caught on the warning track and all of theirs go over the fence.
I've said this before too.
I know you have. And I know everybody says that. And we did have maybe 2-3 caught on the warning track. By the way, we're kind of remiss if we don't, celebrate that catch that Fernando
I'm going to play
made.
the highlight to come back next segment.
It was, one of the great ones. And the other guy made a good catch too, but not as good as Fernando's. But, so Scott said this and I thought, yeah, I've heard this before. So is there any way to analytically check this? Can you look somewhere and see how many fly ball outs we get?
Oh, fly ball outs.
Like how many shots do we hit to the warning track at Petco as opposed to other teams?
Well, I can tell you
because I wonder if this is really true. Do we hit more long fly outs than the other team?
Well,
it seems like it, but I don't know.
I will say this. Kevin Acey wrote in his newsletter today all about this, and he said opposing teams had 77 home runs at Petco Park this season compared to Padres' 59.
Okay.
They have also been out-homered 80 to 68 on the road. I know this team isn't built around the home run, but it does sometimes feel, for lack of a better way of explaining it, that the Padres have warning track power and the other teams have home run power.
That's why I would like to see it be proven. I mean, I'm sure in the analytics of this world, we can find out if that's really true.
Okay, let's assume that's true.
Okay.
Then what?
Yeah, right.
Well, that's what Manny said next. Here's what Manny said to Kevin Acey. Quote, "I don't have an answer for you. Go find someone who could give you those answers and then come tell me. I want to know."
Okay, fine. We've been out homered. We hit more, warning track. Okay, so now what? What's the fix? We like try to hit more, like try to
bring
hit
the
further?
Fences in. So the Padres can get some.
I was going to say, then bring them back when the other team's up.
No. Just know that the other team's going to get their home runs, but the Padres are also going to get some home runs.
I think the statistic that you just pointed out, though, is a bit telling. If you said that they've been out homered by 18 at home and they've been out homered by 12 on the road, then maybe the ballpark doesn't really have that much to do with it.
It's
maybe
the way
just
the team's built.
Yeah, the other teams just hit more home runs.
I mean, listen,
that might just be it. I don't know.
You start shuffling up and down the lineup, right? Jackson's not at where he was last year, and that might have been like a ceiling year in terms of homers for him, right? Manny's a little bit under right now, but he's still got some time to go. He very well may hit 7 home runs before this thing is all over with. Who knows? But if he goes the way it's been going, he's going to finish under what he normally has homer-wise. Toddy's, we've already discussed this at nauseum about, his homer. Although he's at 20 now, I don't know that it's, he's far off outside of the 40 year, right? I mean, he's usually around 25, 26. But, 2 homers there, 3 homers here, another 4 homers here. All of a sudden, you're like right back into the realm of being even at home, even on the road. And are we having the same discussion? And no. So, it is what it is at this point. It's September. It's no longer like, oh, well, quarter of the season, halfway. We are in September. And so, at the end of the day, not to mention, Jerickson Profar's 24 from last year also made this look a little bit
different. But Sheetsy is making up for it.
Wow.
He is. He's got a career year in that. I think Laureano has got a career year, although all of his, 10 since he's been here?
It sounds
10
right.
homers?
I don't know. But
I think he's got about
right.
10 here. He's been
9
great.
or 10
Yeah, he's been
since
great.
he's been here. So, listen, I think this is part of what the roster looks like this year. These very same guys could add 2 or 3 or 5 more homers next year, and you're looking at a completely different deal.
Yeah. But however you slice it up this year, we're
what
not
it
as
is,
good
right.
at home runs as the other team.
It's because
it seemed to stand out last night because they hit 3 and won the game, and the Padres hit 0 and lost the game. So I get the frustration.
if they had a better power hitter at number 2, they would be fine.
I'm
just kidding. I'm kidding.
They did last night.
I'm kidding.
So stop with
I'm
that.
kidding.
By the way, they're now.
did.
Why not? Why not?
I knew that was gonna.
No, you're an
rankle
idiot. You're an
Chris.
idiot for bringing it up. But since you did, let me twist the knife a little more. The last 3 games, they've neglected to put Arise in the lineup batting second. They've lost them all.
All right, so maybe it's not his fault.
I'm just saying. You can look it up. All right, Gwynn and Chris, we are underway. The slings and arrows will be heading. We'll be ducking and come back and get you rolling with some more on 97.3 The Fan.
Do you know the secret? Swings to the first pitch, sends it in the air to deep right center. Fernando is back. He's at the wall. He leaps up. He reaches over, and he made the catch. Oh, unbelievable. Throw back to first. O'Hearn had to come off the bag and could not tag Lux for the double play, but hang a star for Fernando Tatis Jr., who just robbed another homer.
That, my friends, is what a good call sounds like on a unbelievable play. That was my other partner, my real partner, Jesse Agler, on the call.
Should we
there.
listen to the TV color guys?
No, we
call?
should. We should not. We should not. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't that. I can tell you that.
Jesse hit a home run. Let's put it this way: Fernando did not rob Jesse of a home run on that call.
I will say.
Good
I
call.
will say from it, at least from my perspective, the angle over there made it. I didn't know that ball was hit that well. I think the angle from where I'm at here, which is like right behind home plate, I would have seen it better. But yeah, no, another like stupid play. Like that's the best play. That's his best play of the year.
That's
easily.
on the end of the year top 10 in the in MLB.
For sure.
You know, he's got to work on the arm though. You got to get the double play and finish that. No, I'm kidding.
He knew as soon as he let it go.
I'm joking. It would have been an astonishing play if he got the double play on top of it.
He knew as soon as he let it go that he messed that up. Like he immediately put his hands on his head after it came out of his hand.
I had that, but man, it was unbelievable. And let's be honest, if they win the game last night, then he gets 100% almost of the credit. Because if they go behind 4-0, you know at that point it's probably not going to turn out. But he saved the game for, quite a while. That was an unbelievable catch. It was fun to just watch it and see it and appreciate it. And, Will Benson almost kind of did a Gavin Sheets just on the other side of the field. But he caught the ball and it ricocheted his head up against there. It was kind of scary for a few minutes. I
didn't even know that there was padding up there until I saw his head hit it. Right, because I honestly didn't. I just kind of chalked it up. But yeah, man, he almost decapitated himself as he caught that ball, and then
good catch.
Stayed in the game, man. Good for him. I don't know if it's good for him actually, but I appreciate the mindset there. He had already homered. He had robbed a homer. Once he cleared the concussion protocol, he was like, "There ain't no way I'm coming out of this game. This could be a career night for me." Didn't turn out that way, but nonetheless, I appreciated the toughness, I guess.
Yeah, he was seeing 4 balls when he was hitting instead of just 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was necessarily good for him at the plate. Yes,
by
indeed.
the way, do you know what you do?
Do you hit the middle one?
No.
Okay.
Do you know what you do to a elephant with 3 balls?
No, Chris.
You walk him and pitch to the giraffe.
Okay.
You never heard that one before?
I've never heard that.
Really?
I hadn't heard that one either.
No, I thought we were doing the Lonzo balls.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know where we were going when you said elephant with 3 balls. I didn't know.
Yeah, Tom Brady was on cold as balls yesterday. So
I'm surprised you guys have never heard that one. It's kind of been a long-standing one.
Let's get to today's lineup. A little different for you lineup freaks out there. Toddy back in the leadoff spot. No surprise there. Luis Ariz back in the 2 spot. No surprise there. Manny Machado, Gavin Sheets, Ramon Laureano, Jackson Merrill, Ryan O'Hearn, Jake Cronenworth, Elias Diaz gets to start behind the dish tonight.
Yeah, well, with Pivetta, right? He's all the Pivetta guy, but
yep.
I don't want to drag a Rise thing into this anymore. So we're done with
you're about to, huh?
Well, I'm just going to throw it out. They are 0-3 in the 3 that he didn't start. So there's that. But here's what I thought last night. I don't know that I'd feel 100% comfortable sending him up as a pinch hitter right now. He doesn't look great up there when he pinch hits. Now, maybe he just was a bad swing last night, but that didn't even look like him in that a bit. He went down quick.
One or two off the bench is a little,
okay, yeah, right.
And he doesn't do it often.
Right.
That's not something that he's used to.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, we're going to fight back and forth with the listeners forever on whether he should play. That's fine. But I'm just talking about him as a pinch hitter. It didn't really look great, honestly. So, and the other thing is, I think it's time that Bryce Johnson gets some bigger chances to pinch hit. I just look it up. He's got a hit almost every time he's come up recently.
I know it's not the sexiest name, but the proof is in the statistics that everybody likes to throw us.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Let him give him some more chances there. I say, till he proves differently.
Did I get everybody? Yes. Nick Pivetta on the mound. Andrew Abbott on the mound for the Reds. You guys listening to the practice rendition of
practice anthem
of the Star Spangled
Banner.
But Andrew Abbott has been a bit of a conundrum for the Padres, at least. Now, he's had like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of last couple of months. He has been dominant, but the month of August, I think he's like 0-5. He struggled immensely. I don't know that the Padres have seen that version of him, though. They've only seen
the good version. Yeah.
The good version.
Yeah. I don't know if it's worth putting into the Daily Gambit early, but how much are we betting on TJ Friedel to lead off the game with a homer? And if not him, Noelvi Marte, the next guy to hit a homer. We finally got the first guy out last night, and then before I could celebrate that, it was 1-0 again. This is just crazy, timing. But every game, we give up a home run to the first couple of hitters.
Okay, so it's not just me.
Oh, of course.
I think that's kind of been it.
Like,
okay, good.
Yeah, we're all noticing that. So
I feel crazy in my thoughts sometimes, but
it feels like it's been a while since the Padres have had, like, I don't know, let's just say 3 innings to get their scoring right without the other team scoring.
Yeah.
It seems like in the first 3 innings, there's been a lot of runs. I'm going back through the games that I've done recently. I'm still going.
Yeah, they
yesterday,
haven't had many clean first innings.
Day before, or the whole Orioles series, they did that. The opposing team got on the board within the first 3.
Yeah. So anytime the Padres want to change that, it'll be okay with me. I'm just getting that out there.
For sure.
Scraby wants to ask me, so we have a minute before the break. You ask it, because I don't want to have to even say it.
Oh, are we okay? My question was because Robert Suarez gave up that home run last
night. Did
he?
At least you're honest. This is the only why this question's coming.
Oh yeah, it is. Do we feel okay? Let me say this, knowing that the Padres are not listening to me, or should they?
You know this is a ridiculous question. That's why you're having trouble asking.
I don't think it's that ridiculous, but I think the closer. Okay, let me phrase it this way.
You gonna go down this road anyway? All right, go ahead.
Let me phrase it this way.
There's no stopping him now, Tony.
I'm already out of the tracks. I'll phrase it this way. Who is your number one high leverage arm in the bullpen for the Padres right now? Mine is Mason Miller.
And what does that mean in your mind?
That means that I would like to see him closing.
The 9th inning?
I think that the closer position could be fluid. Mason Miller is throwing the ball really well.
Why do you want to create things?
I don't know. I know that Robert Suarez is not going to be removed from the role as a closer, nor should he, because he gave up a home run. But who are you feeling better about right now?
Okay, wait, go back. I know Robert Suarez shouldn't be removed as the closer because he gave up a home run. But that's exactly what you want them to do.
See, when I present it, it's more for conversational purposes because I don't think the actual move is going to ever happen. So that's why I'm asking, like, who would you rather have bottom of the 9th or top of the 9th, whatever, closing out a playoff game, Mason Miller or Robert Suarez?
I'm going to go Suarez because he's been doing it all year and he's been doing it for me for 3 years and I'm fine with it. I can hear everybody yelling out there, but and that's fine. Go ahead and yell and send all of the correspondence at Chris LOSD.
You just opened yourself up.
Look. But when you send the correspondence, please attach the name of the closer in baseball who hasn't blown a save this year or a game. If you can find that person, then please attach that to your correspondence. But you know what? You can't. And if you look at Mason Miller, he blew 4 or 5 saves when he was with the A's, and I would imagine that maybe they thought he should be removed at that time as well. So,
do A's fans care enough?
But my point is,
that's a good question.
Yeah, they may not care, but that's my only thing. If you want to write and say, "Hello, you're dumb. We got to take Suarez out," then just include the name of the perfect closer out there who should replace him, and then I'll be happy to read it.
Okay. I mean, I already know where Tony's going, but I'm just gonna make him say it.
Yeah, leave Robert where he is for now.
Okay.
It can be fluid if he blows some in the postseason. Then it can be fluid.
Okay, so the postseason does change.
Yeah, hell yeah, it changes. I mean,
Okay.
the postseason is once we
Postseason's
get to that
batter
point,
to batter. Yeah,
it's
batter to batter.
yeah, I'm
They don't
all
mess
for it.
around
Once
with
you get
that.
to the postseason, I'm good with it. I don't think there's a reason to disturb things down the stretch here as we are trying to lock up whatever position that could be. For the sake of, what does Mason need some games to become a closer before you do it? I don't think so. I think he's pretty well acclimated.
Last thing, Mike on the chat is onto something. He said that Mason faced the 1-2-3 hitters last night, so maybe Mason did face the heart of the lineup more so than
Don't think
Robert.
for one second that Mike Shield's not doing that. I mean, he's coming in the 8th or the 7th. We've seen him kind of switch flip-flop depending on Suarez coming in earlier. We've seen that. So it's not really beyond Mike to do that. It just may not look like the traditional sense that we often see. That's a good point. Who brought that up?
Mike?
Yeah.
Well,
Good
Scrappy
point, Mike.
didn't bring it up. By the way,
Okay, that was unnecessary.
that was unnecessary.
Let's get to break.
Do I need to bring back a rise again just to get you back in the box?
Sure.
Matt Snyder, CBS Sports, joins us next. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
Gwynn and Chris on the Fan.
2:37 the time. Tony, he's got the TV broadcast tonight, and the game's earlier, so he's stepped out to get ready for that. He's back with us in a little while for the Big Five. Matt Snyder, CBS Sports, going to join us here in just a moment, talk some baseball. Chris Ello and Scraby. 97.3 The Fan, Padres, Reds tonight. I want to say this, though, Scrabe. I give you a pretty hard time about, goofing with you on the Sanchez or Suarez, Mason Miller question. I'm going to say this. When Jason Adam was healthy before Mason Miller got here, I said many times that I felt more comfortable in the 8th inning than I did in the 9th.
You did.
Because Jason Adam was just automatic. I will agree and say that now. I feel better when Mason Miller's out there, more comfortable, more confident, than when Suarez is out there.
Do you think that's because?
So maybe with that said, because I think a lot of people feel as I do, that maybe the Padres should consider changing it. But I don't think it's a smart thing to do when for 5.5 months you've gone this way. Because
I don't disagree with that.
First, Miller goes back to the 9th inning where he has not been perfect. He was not perfect with the A's. But the biggest thing is now Suarez is pitching in a completely different avenue. And for lack of anything else, I don't want to put him in any jeopardy. He gets the job done more than most guys. And I'm going to back that up right now before we get Matt Snyder on. I'm looking right now at the list of the top 25 guys in baseball in blown saves this year. Top 25. Robert Suarez is not on the list.
No, he's only blown like 4 or 5. It just seems bigger.
I know it does. For us, it seems huge. But Tanner Scott, the former Padre, leads all of baseball. He's blown 9 saves. Jeff Hoffman of Toronto, they're having a great year, but he's blown 7. Andres Munoz of Seattle, who's great, has also blown 7.
No, I'm not saying
so it's hard to find guys that haven't, messed up in the 9th inning. If you pitch in the 9th inning often, you're going to lose a few.
Do you think that it would switch because Mason Miller pitches the 8th, the game cannot be lost? I mean, it can, but it can't really be lost in the 8th. Are we just misplacing our anger on whoever is pitching the 9th?
No, we're just angry because we lost the game.
Okay.
And Suarez threw the pitch.
All right.
Matt Snyder, CBS Sports, joins us. Always good to have you with us, Matt. I wanted to tell you, and thank you for joining us, and welcome as always. How are you? I should ask before anything else.
I'm good. I'm good overall. I'm still yesterday this time I was still trying to get over the Bears meltdown on Monday night, but I think I'm okay now.
That was bad.
Hey, Chicago fan, man. That's a tough one, Matt. We feel for you in that regard. But kind of along those lines, I have brought your name up on this show since you've been on a handful of times. And what I'm referring to is when you were on with us, I think last time, and you were talking about how the Cubs were never going to win another game. And you were like,
you get that feeling.
Yeah, we're 10 games back now. The Brewers, there's no chance. The Cubs, it's all over. And where you said correctly that just about every team in baseball has had that moment to say that this year. The Padres certainly just had their moment. They lost 9 out of 11, which, finished up with a shutout loss to Kyle Freeland. So, that's about as low as they could go. But I've been bringing that up often to the listeners who get, frustrated here. There's nobody in baseball this year that can really go without saying this. It's been an imperfect season for just about everybody.
Yeah, and it's the normal ebbs and flows of a baseball season, because if you're going to go through that 162 times in a year, even the best teams of all time at 162 are going to lose 40-some, 50-some. You're going to be in a bad mood a lot of the time. But interestingly, to your point, it's so much more extreme this season because the Brewers are probably the ones who have been the exception this year, but they weren't that great until Memorial Day. And even just recently, they lost something like 6 out of 11 or something like that. It's not horrible or anything, but they're on pace to win over 100 games. They're not going to go through many stretches that are that bad. But if you went around and you looked at the Blue Jays, and the Tigers. The Yankees, we had to talk about if Aaron Boone should be fired so many times earlier this season. The Red Sox was broken for a little bit.
Right.
The Phillies have had some really bad stretches. The Mets completely fell apart multiple times. You already mentioned the Cubs. And meanwhile, while the Padres were losing 9 out of 11, the Dodgers were desperately trying to let the Padres hang around in the race.
Yeah.
So
They did let us hang around, basically.
And then you go to the American League West, and the Astros have looked broken since the 4th of July, basically.
Right.
But the Mariners wouldn't take over first when the Astros were trying to let them have first.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Rangers are now within 2.5 games because those two teams haven't played well above them. So it leads me to believe the playoffs are going to be incredibly fun and unpredictable.
With that in mind, the follow-up to that, Matt Snyder, CBS Sports, the follow-up to that is we're sitting right now in our minds, I think I'm speaking for most Padre fans, embroiled in a battle to try to, beat out the Dodgers to win this division. First, because we don't like the Dodgers, and that would be really fun to finally win the division that they win every year. But secondly, that would give the Padres for sure the home wild card series. Whereas it stands now, we're packing our bags and we're going to see you in Chicago.
Yeah.
At Wrigley Field. So, but I look at that and it seems on paper, being home for the weekend to take on probably the Mets, who would be the 6th seed, sounds much more preferable than going to the Wrigley Field. It really hasn't shown that way in past playoffs. We're rooting for something that maybe it doesn't even matter what we root for.
It doesn't. Yeah, it probably doesn't matter. It's such a small sample, that 3-game series.
Right.
Little things can change the way the entire series goes. And even I remember last year, the Mets had to play that doubleheader on Monday against the Braves and then turn around and go right to Milwaukee. And they end up winning that thing in 3 games when it looked like they were going to lose it. And then all of a sudden they go nuts on Devin Williams in the 9th. And that was the Brewers version of Devin Williams, not the Yankees, where he was actually a great closer. So it's just, there's no method to it, man. I mean, 2023 going in, I think I said nothing would surprise me except if the Diamondbacks somehow beat the Dodgers, because there's no way that's going to happen. And then they swept them. And that was, it's just come on, man. You never, these short series, there's just no method to how it's going to fall. So my brother and my cousin and I have a text chain the other day, and they were saying well, who would you rather play? And I was like, well, I'd rather play the Padres than the Dodgers, I guess. But man, the Dodgers have looked so broken so many times throughout the season.
Right.
I don't know. And you just never know.
Yeah. Who would you rather play? The Nationals, but they won't be an option.
Yes.
We're
the
talking
Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if the Padres want to face the Rockies.
I know,
the Rockies always play
them
hard. We're talking to Matt Snyder, CBS Sports here on 97.3 The Fan, Gwynn and Chris. And I read your power rankings article every single week. I love power rankings. I know that some people aren't fans of power rankings, but this week you had the Padres in your 11th spot. I'm not going to ask you about the Padres generally, because I want to know how you go about, which team is the hardest for you to rank amongst the good teams? How do you determine they're 11 and not 7 or something?
The easiest team to rank this year has been the Brewers, at least the last 6 weeks, because I can just put them at number 1. The hardest, gosh, I don't think that I could give a good answer on that. I mean, so many of the good teams give me fits. I thought, I had the Yankees 3 this week, for example, and they just do not feel like the 3rd best team in baseball. But who else am I going to put there? That's just what kind of year it's been. I feel like every fan. I was telling my dad about this on Monday before the Bears game. I was like, I feel like every fan base, me included, would look at the rankings, and if you didn't look at any teams around them, would say, oh, you have my favorite team too high. I'm putting the Cubs 5th or 6th, and I'm like, they do not feel like they're the 5th or 6th best team. They just don't feel good enough for that. But, I might say the Yankees. The Padres have been difficult. The Dodgers have been very difficult. The Tigers have been a headache. The Yankees have been an incredible headache. Okay, basically every contender except the Brewers lately has been really hard to rank.
I figured because I look through these rankings each week and I'm like, how does that doesn't sound like a fun job.
I really get, and actually this week Phillies at 2 was pretty easy as well. I knew that they didn't have the best week, but they also took 2 of 3 from the Brewers, but they were also like 4.5 games behind them, so I couldn't put them 1. But like I was good at Brewers 1, Phillies 2, and then after that I was like, well, what the hell is this? Who am I going to put third?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Matt Snyder's with us. I'm going to open up a can of worms on this side of the phone, but I don't think you have to worry about that, Matt. I think you'll just give a straight, on a shot like you always do. Luis Arraez has been the subject of a lot of conversation in San Diego, a lot of consternation from the fans. He is a 3-time in a row batting champion, but he is not that this year. He's hitting, 40 points below. Quote, he doesn't walk. Quote, he doesn't hit for power. They even say he has no speed, but he has actually stolen 10 bases, surprisingly. He's a below average defender. I've read all of this stuff. I've read people who say that if it wasn't for, the fact that he just, puts the bat on the ball, he probably isn't even a major league player. I've read that. So what should the Padres do with what should the Padres do with Luis Arraez? Should they keep batting him because he's a 4-time champ or 3-time champ, or should they just cut their losses and say this is a bad season? How do teams generally handle something like this?
I would like him in the 9 hole. I think I would keep letting him play and hit him 9th, and it's an empty batting average guy. So I think he's miscast, like as a leadoff man, for example.
Right, he hits second, and the fans go crazy. They don't like that.
Well, they should, because you need somebody with a lot more power in the 2 hole. An empty batting average guy like that, in this day and age, he probably needs to hit well over 300 to be a worthwhile offensive player, a quality offensive player. Like I said, I like him in the 9 hole. You put all your best players at the top of the order, for example, with I believe Tatis is still leading off, right?
Yeah.
Tatis leading off, probably Machado I know that it seems like Schultz likes him in the 4 hole or something like that, but I would love to see something like Tatis first, Machado second, and then you can hit Arraez 9th. And if Arraez gets hot and starts getting on base again, now you've got your table setter in front of the Thunder there at the top of the lineup. And I know Thunder's probably a stretch on Tatis at this point because he hasn't had near as much power for a while, but the team as a whole is lacking power.
Right.
I would rather have a lineup construction where you've got Tatis and Machado 1 and 2. And then if you have somebody like Arraez, I'd like him in the 9 hole. You just, the leadoff man in the 2nd hole, those are the guys who get the most plate appearances for the entire season.
Right.
And to have somebody who is below average on base percentage getting among your most plate appearances, that is just not efficient at all. So I would rather have Arraez 9th.
Okay. So here's the thing. You just made the point for all of the people who tweet me and say I don't know anything. And that's fine, because I've been trying to stand up for Arraez. But here's how I've been standing up for it. Mike Schultz and the Padres, I think, are pretty smart. I think they look at the analytics. I think they look at all of the same things we all do. They still bat him second. He's batting second tonight. So why do you think they're being so, quote, stubborn if you and a lot of people, you're not alone. Believe me, the island is much more populated on that side, think that it's time to move Arraez? Why do you think they're – I'm asking you to read Mike Schultz's mind, which isn't fair. But
Two things. 2022 through 2024, he hit 328 with 371 on base percentage.
Okay.
The bank here is he's a much better hitter than this. He's a great batsmith. He's going to get it going again. And really, a lot of the lineup has been lackluster anyway.
Right.
The other thing is the low number of strikeouts. He obviously, with only 18 strikeouts, really likes a contact guy after Tatis in that 2-hole before you get to the Machado types. So obviously he wants that there. And I'll add a third too.
Okay.
Sacrifice bunting. I know a lot of people don't love it. I'm on that list, but he can bunt. So my hunch is it's all those factors kind of, it's, hey, this is a guy that we think can hit 350 in short spans. We know he can put down a bunt and he never strikes out.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's just an interesting dynamic that we enjoy going through on a pretty much a daily basis.
It, but
well, I thought I'd get an expert in on it. And,
no, it was good.
And he stuck up for everybody else out there. So
thanks, Matt, for that, because I'm going to be referencing you each time we talk about this.
The
I
funny
know.
thing was when he said, like, I thought we'd grab an expert on that. It sounded like he was going to say, but then instead, Matt just said all that nonsense.
I know.
No, you're an
Hey,
expert.
man, I trust your opinion. I love your opinion, man. It's great. I hope we get you before the playoffs because, man, it's going to be a wide open bunch of fun. And I think if nothing else, we should be happy. And I think most of us are that the Padres are most likely going to be a part of it. So
They will be.
we'll see where it goes. Matt, thanks for the time as always. Continued great work.
All right, take care.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Matt.
Matt Snyder from CBSSports.com. He made everyone else's point better than they made their own points.
Isn't
that funny?
It's not that he's right or wrong because nobody's really right or wrong. The only people that can be right or wrong are the guys who are making the decisions.
Well, that's why I bring that. That's why I keep going back to that. You know, if everybody's so right, then why are we not listening and doing it? Because Arise bats second, and that's where he is today, and that's where he always is.
I've said this
so
for
it's just weird to me.
A little bit now. I don't think being low in the order is a sign of disrespect. I actually like having guys that can hit in the 8th spot, like Jake Cronenworth, or putting Arise in the 9th spot, because you need someone to turn over the lineup, and maybe that would take a little bit of pressure. I don't know. I feel like they won't move him because it seems like it's disrespectful to move him.
No, I think they're not moving him for why Matt Snyder said, which is what they're hoping that at
comes
some
back to
point
form.
the hitting champion is going to, resurface, but it certainly hasn't happened yet. All right, very good. We do have some good news.
What's that?
I got a little good news. Since, the Giants are getting a little uncomfortably closer in the standings, be nice if they would lose today, and they are 5-0 to the Diamondbacks in the bottom of the 7th.
Very nice.
So we'll keep an eye on that. Dodgers again with the Rocks. Told you the Rocks.
I didn't even see what happened last night.
They got no hit again till the 7th inning. The Rockies cannot get a hit in Los Angeles.
Dodgers can't no hit.
No, they didn't finish off the no-hitter, but they still beat them again. So it's a 2-game spread in the West. More Gwynn and Chris. Daily Gambit stuff around the corner. On into hour number 2 here of Gwynn and Chris. Remember, short show today, 4:30 for the pregame show, and 5:30, actually, a little after, 5:40, for the ball game tonight between the Padres and the Reds. Dylan Cease bobblehead night. So get on out there early if you want one of those.
I'm trying to get down there in time to get one.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't they usually give us one here in the studio that you just end up stealing at some point?
I never stole it. I asked, but guess who's took home the last one? Frank Marchese.
Frank Marchese commandeered the last bobblehead, huh? You got competition now.
Well, there's no competition.
I wonder. What I'm wondering
I
here
am
is
higher
apparently
in the bobblehead pecking order. I think.
You think Frank might be higher in the pecking order in terms of being able to beat you up? He's a big guy.
He is.
Big Frank.
Frank is big. He's lost a lot of weight, though, so I think I might be able to take him.
I don't know. His quickness has improved. Just saying.
It has improved. You're right about that.
Just saying.
My quickness has stayed the same, which is
much the same.
It's amazing.
All right. We're going to get into some daily Gambit stuff. As I said, the Diamondbacks 5, the Giants nothing. They're in the top of the 8th. In San Francisco, the Padres don't need to play scoreboard necessarily, but not going to hurt my feelings if the Giants lose this one today. In terms of other baseball news, Anthony Rizzo, talk about him more in the Big Five, but announces retirement from baseball today. Schwarber got to the 50 mark. Schwarbs.
Yes.
Hit number 50 last night. 34th player, I think, to do it. Something like that. And, excuse me, Phillies beat the Mets again last night. NFL news, your guy, Brock Purdy, apparently unlikely to play against the Saints. And it says could miss weeks of time.
I don't know what
All
happened.
of a sudden, Scraby, your guy has turned into a veritable soft, one of those soft athlete guys who, begs out of the lineup and you don't see him for a while.
I mean, what? You get paid $60 million and you can't.
All of a sudden now he can't
All of
play.
a sudden you're not willing to work through injury, Mr. Purdy?
He's got a toe injury. Like, I mean,
that
I
is
hate
tough.
It is.
Have you ever had a toe injury?
It just sounds funny that you're a big, tough
I get
NFL
it.
player and you're out because of a toe.
Oh no, I think it's funny when they say
my toe.
He's got turf toe.
somebody put some tape on my toe.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Brock Purdy probably a long shot, says Kyle Shanahan.
I don't believe any of this.
Purdy playing.
I don't believe any of
So
this.
you think he's going to play? You think it's just total?
How do you go from throwing the winning
BS?
touchdown at the end of the game to not being able to play the next week?
No.
Shanahan plays these games. We know this.
Aaron Rodgers, who did take a little criticism because even though he threw 4 touchdowns the other day, did not show a lot of mobility in the Steelers game.
He did not.
He explained that today. Said his back was, quote, a little tight.
Well, I deal with that every morning, Aaron Rodgers.
No kidding. These things, as somebody, if you're watching on the YouTube, you can see us. Okay, we're decent, athletic people, Scraby and I, but we are not professional athletes, nor do we think we are.
No.
I have to stretch every day, like all day, to keep my back loose, keep the hamstrings going, etc. But I'm also not a professional athlete. Why do these guys get hurt so often on those little types of things? Doesn't it bug you?
George Kittle's out 5 weeks because of
What
a
happened?
hamstring
Did he have
pull.
another toe?
No, he's got a hamstring injury, Chris.
Yeah, Trey Turner, kind of an important player for the Phillies. Hamstring, we'll see you in the playoffs, maybe. Jackson Merrill sat out a long time with that hamstring.
Sure did. Killed my fantasy season.
So, it is interesting. I understand that they're professional athletes. They push their bodies to the limit. But you think that with all of the help and the trainers and the athletic people and the, gurus and people that they're around and personal, trainers, that these guys would stretch and never have this kinds of issues. They have them all the time, apparently. Daily Gambit time. Let's go.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Duh, winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo!
If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. Michael on the chat says turf toe is completely debilitating and excruciatingly painful.
I'm joking with them. I totally get it. No, I know this is a bad one.
Turf toe is not easy.
What it needs is a better PR agent so that the name of it isn't turf toe, because it doesn't sound like it should hurt that much.
It should be like fire toe or something.
Something, yeah. Make it sound like a real injury.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I'm saying. I get it. I know of turf toe, and I know that it's really
when I was a
not
drinker,
easy to handle.
When I was a drinker, I had gout a couple times.
That actually sounds way worse.
It is.
Okay.
Gout might be the most painful thing I've ever been through in my life.
Okay.
But not anymore because I don't drink anymore. All right, let's get to our bets from last night. First one, Reds Padres over under 7.5 runs combined. We both went over. It was under 4-2-6 total runs. Michael King over under 4 2/3 innings pitched. We both went under. He was over.
And we all thought we had the insight in that one.
Oh, yeah.
They'll never make 5 innings coming off of this kind of injury layoff.
They'll never pitch him. He's only going 70 pitches.
Well, he went under that. He only had 60-something pitches. That's
I know.
why
He was
able
pretty
to make
efficient.
5.
Yeah, so he did, and we lost the bet on that one. Dodgers -1.5 on the run line against the Rockies. You went, or both of us went Dodgers. We were correct, 7-2.
Yeah.
Who had more runs plus hits plus RBIs, Manny Machado or TJ Friedl of the Reds? You said Friedl. I said Manny. They both had 0. So
0-0 tie.
Yeah.
Nobody was able to do anything in that category.
The Las Vegas Aces were 17-point favorites over the Chicago Sky, and we both picked the Aces. The Aces won by 31, 92-61. And then the other game we thought was going to be a laugher, Minnesota was only a 2-point favorite over Indiana. We both picked Minnesota, and Indiana won 83-72, so we were wrong about that.
Evidently, Indiana's much better without Caitlin Clark.
I guess so.
Those are the kind of conclusions we draw when we talk about the Padres.
I was just thinking
right?
that.
Every time something happens, is wow, Suarez is terrible. He'll never get another out.
I was just thinking about how to work Luis Ariz in this.
Yes,
Caitlin Clark is Luis Ariz.
Right. So Caitlin Clark doesn't play. Obviously, the Indiana's way better.
Way better.
Yeah.
Final one, Asia. Who had more points? Asia Wilson -6 on the spread or Kelsey Plum? We went Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson had 11 points. With the 6 subtracted, you got 5. Kelsey Plum 17, so she wins.
8-6 for me, which is keeps the bills being paid. 4-10 for you. Had you out
I'm
on a
not
street
doing well
corner
this week.
somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not doing
4-10.
well this week.
Well, it's time to rally. Padres 1.5 over the Reds tonight.
Padres 1.5.
Now, just understand the Reds have won both bets this week.
Yes,
The
they have.
first game, the Padres did not cover the spread, and of course, last night the Reds won straight up. You going for the Reds sweep, or do the Padres finally cover the spread here tonight?
Let me go look at Andrew Abbott real quick.
He's been good, but not lately.
Okay, in the last 3 starts, he's given up 5 earned runs, 2 earned runs, and 6 earned runs.
Right.
I'm going to say that he continues pitching poorly, and the Padres win by 2 or more.
So Padres.
Yes.
I'm calling, this sounds like I'm going out on a limb, but I really shouldn't be, calling a 2 or 3 run homer tonight. Somebody get a hold of one.
Oof.
Man.
Manny Machado, please. He needs it.
He just missed one, I must
did.
tell you, in the 8th inning last night. And when he hit it, it was ended up far short of the warning track, but you could tell he knew he just missed it by the way he threw his bat down as he was running to first base. Yeah, he's like, yeah, but he missed it for sure. I'm going Padres. 7.5 runs tonight. 7.5. Pivetta has not had one of those shutout games.
Yeah, and he's at home.
But it's time. And it is time to get through the first inning without giving up a home run.
Please.
And while you're at it, let's go through the second and third inning as well.
Please.
If anyone can do it, it's Pivetta. I say under. Padres win. I'm calling it right now. 6-0 tonight. Straight up. 6-0. Like a bagel in tennis.
I'm gonna go over, and I'm gonna say the Padres win 7-1.
All right. Dodgers again 1.5 over the Rockies. I put this in there because I don't understand why they actually let people bet on this.
Because
this just seems like the easiest win in history to pick against the Rockies here.
Because they could pull what they did on Friday night and surprise everyone.
Not in LA, they can't. Who are you picking?
Dodgers.
I know you are. I don't have time to look this up, but I almost bet you anything the Rockies have not won a game in LA in 2 or 3 years. I know they haven't won one there this year. Paul Skeens 7.5 strikeouts at Baltimore. Even though his luggage is weighed down by the Cy Young Award that is already in it, Paul Skeens, I can't make fun of the guy anymore. He pitches 7 shutout innings every time
and gives up
2
no
hits.
runs or
Right.
one run and strikes out 8.
Yeah, I'm going to go over.
I'm going to go over too.
He's been that good. Christopher Sanchez, Phillies, 6 1/3 innings against the Mets. So he needs to get an out in the 7th inning to go over. Sanchez has been probably the second best pitcher in the league behind Skeens. For those who don't know who Christopher Sanchez is.
Who was the Brewers pitcher that made the All-Star team over him?
Oh, Mizorowski. Yeah,
Yes.
pitched 4 innings all year, and Sanchez stayed home.
And guess what? We haven't heard about that guy once.
Not much.
Since the All-Star break.
Not much.
It drives me nuts when they force these guys into things.
I know you didn't like that.
All right. Anyway.
Now, a lot of people didn't like it. There was a lot of criticism on that. Anyway, who you taking? Sanchez over under against the Mets. The Metropolitans. It's in Philly. Phillies won the first 2 of the series.
Under.
Okay, the Mets get to Sanchez. I'll say under, but I don't feel great about it. All right, since it was scoreless last night, we have to do a reprise. Friedel versus Machado. Once again, runs, hits, and RBIs. Neither guy had any of those last night. I want to take Manny, but he's swinging like a rusty gate, to be honest with you.
But you said he just missed one.
He did, and
I'm going to go with Manny.
I'm going to say Manny, too, because I was going to say I already also said that Pavetta is going to do a lights-out game, so that means Friedel won't get much. All right, that's all we have for the Daily Gambit. We have to take a break. We have our Big Five at the bottom of the hour. Before we get to that, though, I had something that was like burning in my mind that I just had to talk about.
Uh-oh.
And in glorious old man fashion,
yeah,
I can't think of what it is. So hopefully I'll recapture it while we're checking traffic.
Okay. While we're checking traffic, I have something about Manny that we could talk about on the other side.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll have that, and hopefully I'll remember what's really cool
Correct.
to talk about when we return.
Correct.
From the 855, get Ross Traffic.
should be good here. Does everybody know what potpourri? Just kind of a little of everything.
Yeah.
I think potpourri in my wife's world, potpourri is not that.
It's scented something.
Potpourri is that scented stuff. You
bark.
And I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Like you pay like $100 for a little package of some sort of purple lavender flowers, and you heat up some water and you put the flowers in there, and then I just paid $100 for that.
Yeah.
Like, really?
But
that's what potpourri is in my wife's life.
It smells good.
Maybe. I ain't guaranteeing
Maybe.
that. Yeah, I'm not guaranteeing that. Let's go do a couple of quick items here.
Okay.
Why don't you go first?
All right.
Machado's been cold.
Yes.
But Kevin Acee is suggesting that he's going to get hot.
Yes, because there have been, at least according to Kevin Acee, at least a 25-game stretch at the end of each of the past 5 seasons in which Manny Machado was a big part of the offense. So last year, he hit 309 over 75 games to end the season with a 946 OPS. 2023, 25 games from game 126 to 154. He accounted for 7 home runs, 3 doubles, hit 275. So basically what Kevin Acee is saying is that Manny Machado figures it out at some point before the regular season is over. The other ones, 2022, 55-game stretch where he hit 313 with 14 homers. And then 2021, 30-game stretch where he hit 316 and a 911 OPS.
He has how many HRs at the moment? 23, is it?
20. Yes, 23, because Tony was saying that he could easily reach 30.
I don't think he can easily reach it.
Not right now.
Right? He's got 18 games to hit 7. That is certainly something within
43.
his range. But
his batting average is taking a dive.
He's not going to win the batting title again.
My bold prediction is over.
Yeah.
And my Gavin Sheets 30 home runs was over at the trade deadline.
But Gavin's giving it a run for you, man. Gavin's been great. I'm telling you, I'd give him an outside vote for a team MVP.
I was actually
for all the reasons I talked about yesterday, but I think Gavin Sheets has been really valuable. In a lot of ways?
Do you extend him and just bypass arbitration and keep him on the team?
I would, but it's not my money, and I also don't have the entire team plan in front of me.
That's true.
So they have to work within those constraints. I don't. So yes, Gavin Sheets has to come back. As far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
As far as the batting title, by the way, Trey Turner's at 305. He's going to finish at 305. He's not playing the rest of the regular season.
They did say that for sure?
No, but
okay. That's what I thought.
He's hopeful for the playoffs, which tells me maybe a game or two at the end, if any, but most likely Trey Turner's going to finish at 305. Right now, Sal Frelick, 297 is second.
Wow.
That's going to break Tony Gwynn's record,
Why?
A record that Tony Gwynn wouldn't mind relinquishing.
What is that?
Tony has had the record for a long time for the lowest batting average ever to win a batting championship in the National League.
I love it how it's a negative to be the winner with the lowest.
He had a 313 average. I think it was 1988. That was the lowest ever to win the National League batting title. That record will be broken this year. Somebody will win it with a lower total.
Okay. That's actually, you're right. It is a good one.
It is a good one.
One update real quick. You were talking about Trey Turner being out for the rest of the year. Jeff Sanders is tweeting that. Let me get his exact tweet.
Yeah.
Xander Bogaerts cleared for baseball activity and beginning his progression. So his nice bones doing their thing.
So like he's coming back sooner rather than later.
Yes.
Remember we talked about the Open I went to the game last night, and my friend Scott was there sitting with me. Scott's getting way.
Scott is the star of the show today.
Scott is a great guy. But he pointed out something to me, and I said to him at the time, I got to mention that. Like, that's really weird. So here it goes. Scott went to the University of Oklahoma. He's a Boomer Sooner. His daughter goes to Oklahoma.
Okay.
His other daughter goes to Auburn. He's pretty fired up because next weekend Auburn plays Oklahoma.
Oh, that's cool.
All of his daughters are going to be together. They're going to go to the game. But as an Oklahoma fan, built into his world is a hatred of Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Oklahoma, Texas.
Red River Shootout.
Right. So Scott's telling me about Oklahoma's schedule the rest of the season. And he says Oklahoma has the rivalry game against Texas. That's automatically on the schedule. Then they have 7 other conference games. Oklahoma's in the SEC now. They have 7 conference games. All 7 of their opponents are currently ranked. Every one.
Wow.
So that's kind of crazy in and itself. But here's the rub, and this is what got Scott's ire. And I couldn't agree with him more. Texas is on the other side of this. Right now, there are only, get this, Scraby, there are only 5 teams that are unranked in the SEC. 11 are ranked, 5 are not ranked.
Okay. That's a lot of teams.
Yeah, right. That's weird. Only 5 teams not ranked. While Oklahoma's playing 7 all-ranked teams, Texas plays all 5 of the teams that are not ranked.
Of course. That is kind of weird.
Like the most unfair way something's ever worked out ever.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
I don't know how you can stop it. You know, you put the schedules together. You don't know where teams are going to be ranked necessarily.
I know. I'm just saying, like, that's why it's all weird at the end of the year.
Yes,
when it's like Oklahoma played a much tougher schedule than Texas did.
Look, Texas could beat Oklahoma 14-13 and then win the rest of their games because they're playing all these. Oklahoma lose some of these games because they're playing all ranked teams. And people will have Texas as one of the greatest teams in the nation because they're 10-1, and Oklahoma will be 8-4.
Yeah, and they're going to be
first team
out.
There really may not be much difference between the 2 teams.
I accept the ire of your friend Scott.
Yeah, Texas has all 5 of the non-ranked teams left on their schedule. Random, right?
Yeah, that is lucky schedule making.
All right, let me do one self-serving question to you before we go to break and then get the big 5. Quickly.
Yes.
We talked about the Dolphins, and I have, at length, how bad they are and how I've given up the season and how everything is terrible and they have no shot. I'm not the only one talking about this. This is pretty much one of the storylines after week 1. How bad really are the Dolphins? Most people are saying bad, but not that bad. And they're going to show this week, at least, that they've got something.
I'm
and
kind of on that.
Okay, they do play the Patriots. So how much do you believe? If I told you had to bet a paycheck on this game, would you bet that Miami bounces back and looks decent and beats a bad team? Or would you bet what I'm saying, that Miami is just worse than we can ever imagine, and they're going to lose again?
Where is this game being played?
It's in Miami. I don't think that matters. If you've got no offensive line and no backfield, they can play the game on the moon. It's not going to matter.
Man.
By the way, Miami's number 1 cornerback and offensive lineman are both out of the game, and they're bad at both of those positions to begin with.
Yeah, that changes a lot for me because
I don't know.
I don't necessarily think that Mike Vrabel's a great coach.
I know you
but
don't.
I think he's a better coach than Mike McDaniel.
So if you had to bet the paycheck,
I wouldn't do it on the Dolphins.
You'd bet on the Patriots to beat them. I think I would too.
They have a more complete team right now.
Miami is such a disaster, and I think people are gonna. I'm either eat my words on Monday. You know they're gonna.
And you'll be happy to,
and I'll be happy to eat them, or I'm gonna come in and say, yeah, I was right. I knew they were bad. I knew they were this bad.
I don't think that this is the measuring stick though. The Patriots are probably a 500 team. So it's not like, well, I guess it might be because the Dolphins want to be 500.
If you lose to the Patriots at home, that is going to be proof that they are bad to all the people who don't yet know it.
Okay.
Big 5 is next. Gwynn and Chris.
Hey, I'm on.
It has to do with average temperatures in the year 2024, and this is the average temperature, hot maximum per day, minimum per day. It is going to be your job today to find the 25 states whose average temperature is under 55 degrees. California's at 60. You're looking for anything under 55. I'm not going to let you go first. I'm going to give Tony first.
Let's start with Montana.
That is correct. Montana's the 4th coldest state in the U.S., 44.5 degrees average temperature. All right, Scraby, that leaves a really obvious one for you. I gave Tony first, but he didn't take it. So you can.
I don't know that these are that obvious to any of us.
All right,
Chris.
Well, I think one is obvious.
Alaska,
I think. Thought Alaska was pretty obvious. 27.8 degrees average temperature in Alaska. 16 degrees colder than any other state. Tony's up.
Washington, the state.
State of Washington is on the list at 48.4. So Tony takes a 2-1 lead. Scraby, give me a cold state.
Maine.
Tony, you're up 2-2.
How about Idaho?
Idaho's pretty cold. Cold enough at 45.5, seventh coldest in the U.S.
Well, it's my favorite state to say. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah, that was kind of obvious. Same as Idaho. Minnesota, 45.5, Tony.
How about North Dakota?
North Dakota, there
North
you
Dakota.
go. You found it, number 2, 43.7 there.
I'll take the lesser known Dakota. The
South Dakota.
I think it's the more known Dakota.
Yeah, I would think it's more. Tony, you are up in a 4-4 tie with no strikes yet.
How about Oregon?
Oregon, believe it or not, Oregon's cold enough to make the list. Tony's 5, Scraby's 4.
Never been here, but I knew someone from here and said it's very cold. New Hampshire.
New Hampshire's cold. Tony.
How about Vermont?
Vermont's cold, and it's right next to New Hampshire, so that was good. 46.3. Tony goes up 6-5.
How about Wisconsin?
Wisconsin. I'm pretty sure that's going to be in there. Just below. Tony, you're up.
We're going to move to Wisconsin's neighbor. How about little Illinois?
Oh.
How about a little Illinois? Little Illinois didn't make it. You can get your first lead of the day here.
A state that I've been to, a state that has beautiful scenery, Wyoming.
That's number 3. Wyoming, 44.3. I can definitely second that.
Laramie is like the
notion, having been there every year to Laramie. It's cold. Tony.
Iowa.
That's a great one.
Is it?
Has to be on there.
51.5. Iowa just snuck in there.
I'm going to bank on the part of the state that's not attached to the paw is cold. Michigan.
Michigan is a winner. Very good. The Upper Peninsula you're referring to.
The paw.
How about Utah?
Utah, Salt Lake City and company. Yep,
Park
it's
City.
cold there. 51.2. That is correct. Tony hits it. 8-8. The only difference is Tony's got a strike.
Nueva York.
Nueva York.
New York for Chris.
It does get cold there in New York. 49 degrees average temperature in New York is Tony.
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
What about Ohio?
You ready to come up with an answer, Scraby?
Ohio.
Too hot.
I
Too
know.
hot.
I was thinking that because it's next to Illinois, but I live
Too
there
hot.
and it snowed.
Is that what you want, Ohio?
Yeah.
54.9.
Oh,
It's the last one on there. Scraby goes up 10-9.
how about a little Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
frigid old Pennsylvania.
Frigid old Pennsylvania.
Home of Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg. And cold enough at 52.1 to make the list.
Pennsylvania, baby.
10-10.
Massachusetts?
It has not been said. Doesn't mean it's correct, but it is. 51.2. Scraby hits a bell.
Massachusetts.
11-10. Tony, you're up.
Oh, man, this is hard.
There are 4 left.
Cold. How about Indiana?
Oh.
Indiana. No, Tony. That's a strike. 55.2. Indiana just over by 0.2.
Some of the coldest spots in the country are in the plains. Nebraska. Yeah. Lincoln. That's all I got on Nebraska.
Scraby's doing okay. That's correct.
Wow!
52 degrees.
Colorado.
Colorado. Scraby for the win.
One of the most forgotten places in the United States
Is
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. And it is correct.
Yes! Sorry, that was a lot. Does that mean I win?
Game is over. Yes,
Game
you've
is
won.
over!
That was a stupid game.
I didn't think you'd like it since it didn't win it.
Those are my shoes on the glass.
Sound like you're playing basketball over there. Sounds like shoes squeaking on the floor. This is my trombone.
It looks good.
Little trombone.
Some sort of bone.
That's my fake trombone. It's better than Tony tinkling the ivories on a song that has no ivories.
That is true.
Welcome back
true.
to Gwynn and Chris. Hey man, we're here all day sometimes. You know, we gotta get through this stuff.
Yes.
4:30, no, 3:35 is the time, 9:35 in Pango. Got the lineups. I think we gave you those. Rise is back in there. He's playing second base tonight. I don't know if we Tony mentioned
yeah, we didn't
that.
really.
That means Crony's at short. So they're going with the, a little more hitter-friendly lineup tonight. No Jose Iglesias. Ryan O'Hearn's at first base. Gavin Sheets in the middle of the lineup DHing. So that's what the Padres will bring to the table tonight. The Reds go with pretty much what we saw last night. Did you see the kid Sal Stewart for the Reds hit the home run in the first inning?
Yep.
Evidently, his best friend growing up in the world is Manny Machado.
Yep.
So that was kind of a moment.
Yeah, Manny's kind of his mentor.
Right. And he rounded third, and Manny gave him a little sly grin, What else can he do?
No, I mean, it's got, Manny's stuck up between a rock and a hard place. So am I happy for my friend, or am I mad that it's against
we're
me?
losing 1-0 again before we even get up to bat?
I think you can be happy for your friend, but also angry that we're losing again.
Yeah, Sal Stewart will be in there again for the Reds this evening. Tyler Stevenson, who hit the game-winning homer, will be in their lineup as well. All right, 3:36. Let's check some traffic. 4 o'clock hour. We have Chris versus the fans. And remember, that's it today because early game. So hang in. Let's talk about some Big Five stuff after traffic.
From the Traffic Center protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by the Oceanside Police Department, now hiring public safety dispatchers. Plenty of stuff going on this afternoon. 2-car collision north 805 before H Street. It's over the right shoulder. And southbound 805 before Claremont Mesa Boulevard. Accident involving a car and a motorcycle. The middle lane's blocked there. And got a stalled car southbound 163 before University's got the fast lane blocked. Southbound 125 before Grossmont College got a collision over to the right. In fact, looks like they're having to shut the Grossmont off-ramp down to help clear that. And southbound 67 at the West 8 connector, collision involving a couple vehicles. One's over the right shoulder, one in the center divide. North 5 coastline just before Del Mar Heights Road, crash blocking the fast lane. The Oceanside Police Department is hiring public safety dispatchers, earn up to $87,000 a year. Lateral bonus is up to $11,000. 12-hour shifts, 3-day work weeks, paid holidays, benefits, and retirement. Apply at joinopd.net. And Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. The Big Five today. Not as in-depth as yesterday, but we do have some interesting topics. What are you doing, Chris?
Well, I'm wondering who said that yesterday's was in-depth.
The 23 minutes that we did was why it was in-depth.
You're referring to the length of it yesterday.
Yes.
Okay.
But you know what? I will take it because those are great topics created by me.
See what we can come up with today.
Yes. If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. New spot for the Big Five for today, 3:40. So if you've never heard it before, every day at 4:40, we do the 5 best of the rest stories around sports and life. So it could be anything from aliens to today we're going to talk Anthony Rizzo. So that's what the Big Five is all about. Chris,
I can see how
I see it in your face.
Well, I don't know how you made the connections from aliens to Anthony Rizzo, but that's okay.
That's how my brain works. All right, let's get into
strange, I might add.
Yeah, no one liked the annexation of Puerto Rico joke yesterday. It's like, come on, people. That was an amazing joke.
We can't keep up with you, Greg. Too fast for us.
Do you guys know what happened on January 6th, 2012? Not that January 6th.
January 6th automatically gets everybody going.
2012. Do you guys remember what happened?
No, don't know what happened on that date.
I think the Bulls beat the Pelicans that night.
Okay, good. Are the Pelicans around in 2012?
Maybe.
That was the day the Padres traded Anthony Rizzo to the Cubs. And Rizzo announced his retirement from the game today after 14 seasons in the big leagues, mostly with the Cubs. He also played for a little bit with the Padres at the big league level and then with the Yankees. The Padres acquired right-handed pitcher Andrew Kashner and left fielder Kyung-Min Na. And the Cubs acquired Anthony Rizzo and Zach Cates. So looking back, Chris.
Run that back again. Who did the Padres get?
Andrew Kashner and a left fielder by the name of Kyung-Min Na.
It was basically Rizzo for Kashner. The other two.
Zach Cates wasn't a part of that whole thing?
They might have. I don't think he
was a part of it.
No, but they never really amounted to anything.
Okay. So here's the question. Looking back in your crystal ball, was trading Anthony Rizzo the right move for the Padres?
It's impossible to say.
It's not impossible.
Well, I'm going to say a couple of things because I think Anthony Rizzo traded to the Cubs is one of the things that people say was a disaster moment for the Padres. But I remind everybody that he did have 153 plate appearances for the Padres. He had 18 hits, 1 home run. He batted 141 with the Padres. Now, was that enough of a sample size? Of course not. Anthony Rizzo went on to be a fantastic ball player and a World Series winner and a big part of why they won it. And he went on to have a really good career and make a whole lot of money. But it's revisionist history of anybody here 14 years after this to say it was a dumb trade. Because I was here when the trade was made and the Padres needed a right-hander and they needed Andrew Kashner and they got him and he pitched some good games and then he, kind of frittered out a little bit. But Anthony Rizzo, I think people were like, no, this is not the guy. Now everybody says that was a dumb trade, but it wasn't.
I don't know that,
it wasn't so much at the time.
I don't know that everybody says it's a dumb
I
trade.
think they
Some
do.
Some
I think
do.
they do.
Tony, you were 2 years removed from this team when he was traded to the Cubs. What are your thoughts on the trade of Anthony Rizzo back in 2012?
I think Chris is right from the standpoint. It's really hard. Like, Rizzo went to a different organization. And who knows if there was a coach there or a hitting coach or whatever that, helped him get to where he was. Because as Chris said, he hit 140 something with the short stint with the Padres. Would he have been able to blossom into the player he was?
Yeah, you never know, right?
In San Diego.
You never know.
I don't know, man. It's so hard to predict that. I do still remember him karate kicking Austin Hedges, though, as a Cub.
I do remember that, too.
That definitely, and no retaliation happened. I remember how much that irritated the folks in San Diego. But I think it's impossible to predict whether he would have been the same player. I think he certainly would have had the chance to be the same type of player, but would he have had the same type of success?
Right.
I don't know.
There are no ways hits as many home runs at Petco Park as he did at Wrigley Field, right?
Especially at that point,
just start
right?
there.
They hadn't even started to move the fences in at that point. This was still the graveyard.
Yeah, you can start with that, right? He wouldn't have had as much power. But Tony's 100% right. It's like the pitchers that come here and then they become successful. Ruben Niebla gets a lot of credit and he deserves it. But we also don't know that maybe those pitchers just would have come into their own had they stayed where they are. Like it's impossible to be 100% sure.
You know what? It's impossible, Chris, the pitching whisperer not getting the credit for this.
I gave him the credit. Okay. I said he gets all of the credit. He gets a lot of the credit.
Okay.
I mentioned that.
All right. As long as you said that about
listen
the pitching
to everything I say.
I only
not just
to,
selected.
I only listen to half.
I know you do. You listen to every other word.
Yes, that's true. Last week,
could you imagine that? Like actually only hearing every other word?
That would be weird.
You'd be jacked up a lot of times.
Tony, last week Chris was talking about something, and basically it was this, and I wasn't really paying attention, and he basically said, Scraby, the sky is blue. I was like, what are you talking about? It's green, Chris. Like, I had no idea what he was talking about, and I was looking like an idiot when that happened.
Number 4.
Listen, you don't have to tell me.
I know.
I recall popping up saying something that y'all had just finished talking about in the previous segment. And I've started
Carl
with the
Sheffers.
You guys know who he is?
Yes, Tony, we literally just got done talking about him.
Yes, the NFL referee. We did a whole segment on him, and then Tony piped in with,
You guys ever heard of Carl Sheffers?
no. Funny you mentioned it.
I think Chris even was like, "Yes, please tell us about him."
he did say that.
All right, number 4.
Shoot.
The NCAA announced that 3 basketball players from Fresno State and San Jose State, Michael Robinson, Steven Vasquez, and Jalen Weaver, have had their eligibility permanently revoked as a result of an investigation into violations of the NCAA sports gambling rules. Here's what they allegedly did. In January 2025, Robinson conspired with another player, Vasquez, to deliberately play poorly in a game. They, along with a third person, bet a combined $2,200 on his poor performance. They won $15,950 on his poor performance. During the same season, Robinson placed 13 daily fantasy sports bets totaling $454 on parlays that included his own performance, winning $618 on one occasion. And then finally, December 2024, Robinson and his teammate Weaver exchanged information about their betting lines. This led to Robinson betting on Weaver and Weaver placing a $50 parlay bet on himself, Robinson, and another athlete, which ended up paying out to $260. So it's like it's a 3-person gambling ring here, and they were fixing the odds. Tony, I don't really know what to ask about this because we've already talked, but do you think these allegations are going to follow them the rest of their lives?
I mean, if they stay in sports, it will, for sure. They might be able to get into like the regular world and nobody know who they are or what they've done until, I mean, there's always Google now, but no one will, they will at least initially get their foot in the door, I think, because no one's going to, I think, be chasing down what Fresno State and San Jose State basketball players. They're not a team of prominence, either of the two. And so this one could fly under the radar. But, you know, we've talked about it a little bit. I think these are the most susceptible people to all of the gambling going on. Because quite frankly, I remember how stupid I was when between the ages of 18, 17, and 21.
Me too.
Right? You just think you're invincible, A, and that none of these things could ever actually catch up to you. And I certainly plan to see a lot more of these moving forward.
Chris, do you think these allegations are going to follow them the rest of their lives?
Absolutely, if they stay in sports. But I don't know that they will. I think this is probably the end for these guys, and I hope it is, because I hope that the message gets out there that, you know, if you get caught in something like the NCAA, for at least on the surface, finally made a correct decision, maybe their first one in ages, but yeah, this is the only way you could react to this. They have to be like lifetime, like we can't have you participate anymore. That has to be the message to everybody. I will spare everybody my usual 20 minutes on how gambling can wreck sports, but
please,
yeah. Well, stop.
He said, "Please."
I'm spicy today.
We have enough trouble getting everybody's trust and appreciation out there without you shooting down things right and left.
Well, everybody who's listened to this show for any amount of time has heard that speech. So
yes, they have.
Yeah, it's okay.
But
I was just
I'm glad I
rankle you.
The NCAA did the right thing,
all right.
And I don't honestly care what happens to these guys too much.
I mean,
frankly,
if they go for a job, say in finance, say they're going to be some sort of banker, do you think that they have to? This is going to be on their record, like why did you stop playing basketball?
No one cares. Once you stop playing and you move into the real world, unless you did something that people remember, no one cares.
If I'm an employer, I'm like, you already do shady things.
Here's the thing that's sad, right? Is that typically athletes are very passionate about the sport they play, which allows them to be good coaches down the line. How are you going? And maybe this is not a bad thing. How, maybe you can explain to a kid and you're in a spot and gone through something where you could actually add some value to a kid. But I mean, you can't. Otherwise, if parents aren't comfortable, though, that's going to be something that prevents you from being in that sport, as Chris and I both said. Like they probably have to move out of the sports realm if they don't want to be caught or have their past brought up in their face.
Do you think somebody that gets fired for insider trading and then tries to get a job as a communications director for a television station, do you think that goes?
Yes.
Follows them?
I think that you have to explain why you were removed from your previous role. If you were an employer and you asked that,
who's going to put that on their resume? I got fired for insider trading.
I mean, you don't put that on your resume, but they're going to ask, why did your employment suddenly end with this company?
Apparently,
yeah. I mean, you definitely could put it in there and hope that they don't ask about that particular one.
Or you could just say that, well, my wife got a job in Nebraska and we moved.
It wouldn't be the first time someone lied in a.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think? People ought to, go into job interviews now and take an honest pill? What day did that start?
How many jobs have you interviewed for in the last, say, 5 years, Chris?
0.
Oh, good answer. Good answer. Good answer.
But if I had, I would have lied my way through it.
Yeah, I love that guy Scravy I work with.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What do you think of the guy? He was fabulous.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great. But if I could get someone who has a little bit more attention to detail,
actually, he wasn't very good, and the fact that I survived with him, I think, should be thought of as a positive achievement.
You're hired, sir.
There you go.
A new report reveals that in 2019, Kawhi Leonard's uncle Dennis Robertson asked the Raptors for no-show endorsement deals and ownership stakes in outside companies, including the Toronto Maple Leafs. He also demanded an additional $10 million annually in sponsorship income. Despite being told sponsors would require appearances, Robertson insisted Leonard wouldn't do anything for the money. The NBA did investigate this when the Clippers signed him as a free agent and found no wrongdoing or illegal benefits. So I'm not going to ask you if Kawhi is guilty or anything, but Chris, when should an athlete get professional representation over family representation?
When should they? Well, it's certainly not my business to tell them what to do.
When would you get professional
I would highly
representation?
recommend always getting professional representation. That's
nice
just
transition
myself.
there, Scrape.
I think anytime you involve your family in these kinds of business matters, it can only lead to some negativity down the road.
With hundreds of millions of dollars involved in this whole thing.
Right. But this whole Kawhi Leonard thing is starting to bother me more and more now. Because starting with Pablo S., semi-truth teller, and
Pablo STT, Pablo
semi-truth teller, Pablo S. But starting with him and now going with all the other reports that are all guessing, and now this report, which is even admitting that there was no wrongdoing. Kawhi Leonard's name just keeps getting dragged through this, and I am almost positive Kawhi Leonard had very little idea any of this is even going on. So, to that end, I blame Kawhi for allowing his family to represent him. Although, his uncle might be the world's best, greatest, smartest guy. It's just, it leads to, unfortunately, these kinds of things more times than not. So I would not recommend it to anybody.
Tony, when would you get professional representation over family representation?
Immediate, unless my family was their, deal. That's what they did.
Unless your dad was
an agent, like
Drew
he was in
Rosenhaus or something,
right? I'm doing it immediately from the very get-go. I think, listen, family always usually has good intentions.
Yeah, they do, right?
Behind their decision, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's informed decision making, and so I just think it's cleaner that way, man. I've seen too many bad things happen, families getting broken up over these type of situations. And so I just think it's cleaner to have a professional from the very, very beginning, do your deal. Unless, of course, like I said, like if you got a family member that's a top tier agent or in the negotiating stuff, fine, have at it. But otherwise, get the pro so you can avoid these sticky situations like this one.
Do you think, just in general, as a comparison here, guys, I would think, and I fortunately don't have personal experience and don't ever plan on having any, but when people get divorced, my guess is in most cases, and I'm talking about the high profile crazy stuff we hear sometimes, but I bet you in most cases people get divorced and say, okay, well, let's just sit down and work this out. You never get it worked out, right? You have to have somebody come in and help sort things through. It just works that way.
I think that's like the unicorn of divorces right there, right? It's like, we'll just sit down and hash this out ourselves. You get this, you get this. Boom. Everybody's
before you know it, you're like, I better get a lawyer in here. This ain't working.
Exactly.
All right.
Number 2.
Now, we always talk about crazy specific stats in baseball, and I finally found one in the NFL that we could use. I was scouring the internet last night, and according to True Media, over the last 18 NFL games, Caleb Williams leads NFL quarterbacks with 52 incompletions due to an overthrow. So he overthrew him 52 times in the last 18 games.
You're such a Caleb Williams hater.
I'm not.
Sure you're not.
No.
He said he was scouring the internet. What he was really doing was scouring the internet to find negativity about Caleb Williams.
I literally said on Monday, I think he's going to take a step forward this year.
That doesn't mean the inside of you has changed on him.
Chris
at all.
is like, I don't think this guy will do anything ever.
Your imitation of my voice is something that is, really needs to be examined.
It should be studied for sure.
It needs to be examined.
Whenever there
is no way I ever go, well, I think he's gonna. I mean, since when?
Well, I think he's gonna be a failure in the NFL if he doesn't start studying.
Since when did I move to Kentucky and get a gravelly voice?
I don't
just
know.
don't know.
I don't know. You smoked a bunch of cigarettes overnight. Okay. Back to the stat at hand, guys.
Right.
That Caleb Williams leads by 17 more than the next highest quarterback. He added 5 on Monday night.
Okay.
Now, some are saying this is a sign of a bad quarterback. But here are the other guys on the list. The top 5 in order. Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Patty Mahomes, Sam Darnold, Justin Herbert, and Matthew Stafford are tied at the bottom with 27 overthrows in the last 18 games. Tony, does this stat tell you Caleb Williams is a struggling quarterback?
No, I don't think the stat tells you anything. Honestly.
Okay. This is what I thought.
He's missed some throws, high, low. What you say? These are overthrows, I guess?
Overthrows, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean.
Yeah, where does he rank in the underthrown department? Maybe he doesn't do that.
I'm sorry, what?
I said in the underthrown department, where does he rank there? Maybe he evens out. In terms of, because what Tony's saying is right. So he missed some throws. That's all they're telling us is where he missed them.
Right.
Other guys missed
these
throws.
ones happen to be the ones that were overthrown. So,
I don't know. We're picking on Caleb, so I'll pick on
You're
him.
picking on Caleb.
All right, I'll pick on him a little
You're
bit.
picking on him.
You're right. No,
Matt.
Tony's not. But
I am not.
Let me pick on him a little bit more. The stat that I did take a little credence in the other day was that he led the NFL last year by a wide margin in getting sacked after a certain amount of time went by.
Yeah, holding on
which
to the
means
ball
he's holding on the ball too long. Okay, that stat actually kind of told me something. The one that he overthrows people doesn't tell me too much.
I think that stat does tell you something, but that stat is also probably the most fixable, right? He's hanging on to the ball because he's trying to make the spectacular play most of the time versus what we saw him do pretty much for the first 3 quarters of that game was get the ball out of his hand, not have it too long. And what do you know? He wasn't inaccurate. He was 10 of 10, threw the ball well. But, when you start trying to, and this goes into wanting to be the guy, right? You hang on to that ball, you're just trying to get your old school Russell Wilson on, and it ain't quite working out.
Yeah. And when you look down the field to see if your wide receiver is open and DJ Moore has gone over and sat on the bench during the play,
that hurts too.
That hurts. Yeah.
You don't have an option over there anymore.
Takes that option away.
But what if he threw it perfectly to DJ Moore on the bench?
Well, at least he wouldn't get the overthrow stat.
All right, we're running out of time really quick. This person sent this in to me. I'm an Uber Lyft driver, and I have a question for you guys. I listen while I'm driving as much as I can. By the way, have you guys ever been in an Uber and a Lyft when they're playing our show? Like, say we're going somewhere.
I have not.
I have. It is a weird It is a weird feeling knowing that your guys are on the show right there and you guys are making fun of me, but I'm in the back seat of this guy's Uber. Anyway, Chris, have you?
I've had friends tell me they've heard people listening in an Uber, but not me personally.
I've definitely had that happen.
All right. My question for you guys is, when you order a rideshare service, do you sit in the back or the front? I don't mind front riding people, but I also don't care for it. I would rather them get in the back. Chris, front or back rider?
Yeah, I've only been in the front when the back seats are taken by other people that I'm riding with.
Okay, Tony, front or back seat guy?
Same. I'm a backseat guy unless it's full, and then I got to get in the front seat.
But I do want to say that the secret sauce of why Uber is successful is not because they give you rides. It's because you don't have to talk to the guy.
Okay.
They literally have an option on there for silence. Yes.
I haven't been in an Uber in a really long time. I don't.
It's the greatest invention. The greatest invention of all time because it took away the stop and chat.
All right, that's it for the Big Five. When we get back, Chris versus the fans. 833-288-0973. Get in line.
Hi, my name is Sage. I'm a freshly graduated high schooler from Escondido High School. I'm an active member in the FFA program, and my dream is to become a veterinarian.
Tony Gwynn.
I was up late last night, Scrape.
Oh, yeah?
Studying up. Getting a little tired of getting whooped at Chris versus the fans.
Oh, is that right?
Fans have been taking over last few games. We got another round of the popular game show coming up here shortly as we start the 4 o'clock hour. Our final couple of segments today. Remember Padre baseball? A little early tonight. Padres and the Reds. 5:40. First pitch will be thrown by Nick Pivetta to TJ Friedel. And hopefully that pitch will not leave the yard. I don't mean it in a bad way.
No,
but
it
it
just
is pretty funny that
often.
like 5 of the last 6 games, a team keeps hitting a home run before we could even sit in our seats.
I got into my car last night
Yeah.
to drive home, and I heard Jesse say, Reds up 1-0. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I know,
This
every
is-
night, every game. So we'll see what happens tonight. Pivetta, Andrew Abbott, good lefty for Los Rojos. And somebody wrote in earlier this week, Los Rockies are coming in tomorrow.
Yes, they are.
There's no Spanish word evidently for Rockies.
No, there's
They're
not.
just-
Rockies are a name we can say.
They're just the Rockies.
We way overthought that one.
The Rocks are coming in for 4 games. I mean, does it just go without saying that we got to like win all those?
Yeah.
But we're worried that we won't. I know how it goes. All right, Chris versus the fans. Time to have a chance to qualify for fabulous prizes, like a grand prize trip to see the Eagles. Yes, the band, the Eagles. They're going to be at the Sphere Las Vegas. 2 tickets to the show, January 30th. You get a 2-night stay at the Venetian Resort in Las Vegas, a VIP package, and a $100 gas card to help get you at least as far as Barstow. The Eagles have added 26 shows to the band's residency at the Sphere. It all started on January 23rd, or next year. They've added the shows on January 23rd, 24th. January 30th is the one you'll get to go to, and then January 31st. So 48 shows total from last September through next January. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. All right, go.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question is going to get more difficult as you go along. If you get the question wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know, and you will get that first question for free today. All right. I'm all over the place, Chris. I'm trying to figure everything out right now.
I can't help
phone's up there. All right, let's get started. Let's go to our first contestant, Johnny. Hello, Johnny.
What's happening, guys?
Not too much.
Hey, Scraby.
What?
Guess what?
Oh, what?
Here's Johnny.
Chris has had some really fantastic jokes.
But
Are you
wrong.
taking my joke
You
roll?
like the one with the elephant.
I was
you did
just
like that
shocked.
one. You like that
You're
one.
talking about elephants with 3 balls.
You
We're
like
talking
that
about
one.
baseball. They walk the elephant. Okay.
Right.
All right, Johnny. I'm sorry about that. Here we go. Question number 1. What NFL team scored the most points in their game over the weekend?
Week 1.
Week
High
1.
score.
Yes, high score.
Fair question, Scrape.
Thank you.
The Bills?
The Bills is correct. The Ravens allowed the Bills to score 41 points and 15 at the end of the game.
Cautionary tale. Last year's top score in week 1 was the Saints.
That is true. And
So
you know
you
what?
never know.
Ever since you said that yesterday, I have heard multiple sources reference this take of the Saints were the hottest offense in football for the first 2 weeks of last season.
They were.
And look what happened.
You don't know, but I'm surprised. I mean, sorry, John, I know you're in the middle of your game run here, but I'm surprised that victory has vaulted the Bills to like the team to beat in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm not sure why either.
It was a good comeback, no question.
But they
they gave
kinda
up
terrible.
40 points and they were outplayed for most of the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that comeback makes them the best team in football.
We live in a world of hot takes, Chris. We
Okay.
live in a world of hot
All
takes. All right, here's
back to Johnny.
Here's Johnny's
Here he
number
goes
2 question. See, I got to laugh on that one.
Yeah, pretty good.
3 players so far in Major League Baseball have hit 48 home runs or more this season.
48 or more. It's kind of an arbitrary
Name all
number.
3. Well, because there was only 3 at the
Yeah.
top. 48 or more, name all 3.
I think Johnny can do that.
Kyle Raleigh,
Okay.
Kyle Schwarber,
Okay.
and Shohei Ohtani.
Think you got
Correct.
Yep, you got
Nice job.
Very good.
Yes, Big Dumper.
Yeah.
Leads them all.
Cal Raleigh was correct, but we'd prefer you call him the Big Dumper.
Yeah, but you can call him by his real name. Chris hated this nickname about
For the
3
first
months
minute,
ago.
but after that, I loved it. Yeah.
All right, you, Johnny, are on to question number 3. You get this right or Chris gets it wrong, you're qualified for this trip to see the Eagles. All right. Which National League West player has the most triples in baseball this season?
Nobody cares about triples.
Except for the couple that Jackson Merrill's hit this week.
Maybe it's Jackson Merrill.
O'Neal Cruz.
Let me
O'Neal
National League
Cruz.
West.
He said National League West. We'll give you one more guess if you want to try that. We'll give you another guess because it was National League West, just because we like you, Johnny.
Oh man,
It's a tough one.
not a Dodger, is it?
You can also pass if you'd like and force Chris to guess.
Well, I think he'd rather
Corbin
guess.
Carroll.
He got it.
Wow!
He came up with it.
And I
Good
can
for
tell you,
Johnny.
Johnny, stay right there. Great playing. I'm going to get your information in the break. I can tell you, though, that looking up who has the most triples in baseball this year is not an easy thing to do in 25 seconds. So,
No, he got it. I knew it because Corbin Carroll's on my club, my fantasy. But every time he hits a triple, I'm like, that doesn't do me any good. There's no triple category in my
you
fantasy
guys don't
league.
have like OPS or on base?
Yes, we do. But I'm just saying a triple is just like a single in our league. Anyway, good job, Johnny. You won it. That's about the 8th day in a row that I haven't even played Chris versus the Fans.
Would you rather not play or play and lose?
No, I want the people to win. So
Okay.
I'm glad for Johnny. He came up with Corbin Carroll, pulled it right out of there. Nicely done. We'll take a break here. We got one final segment to go. And got a couple of items before we send it on to Sam Levitt's pregame show. So stick around.
From the 855.
There's a Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec'd out here at the Aztec Baseball Tournament. It's the SDSU Baseball Alumni Tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble. And Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well. But our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
We are league 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but
a regular show, or regular for a game. There's a game tomorrow. Again, they play Thursday evening. Rockies start a 4-game series here. Should remind the last time the Rockies were here, they didn't score a run in all 3 games of the series. They were shut out all 3 times by the Padres. Padres will hope to continue that kind of dominance, but that's starting tomorrow. Tonight they have to focus on the Reds. The Rockies hopefully can help the Padres out up in Los Angeles, but don't count on it. Did we ever get a final? By the way, I lost track of the Giants game against Arizona. Did that go? I'm sure it went final. I
haven't
reported.
I haven't
on it.
looked either, to be honest.
Let me look. It was 5-2 in favor of the D-backs. They won 5-3, so the Giants lose. That's helpful for the time being. Padres are now 5.5 ahead of the Giants with 2.5 weeks to go. If you're wondering about that, Texas, by the way, finished a sweep of Milwaukee today. And I saw the other day, front runner right now, American League Manager of the Year. A.J. Hinch is probably still the front runner because Detroit's on top. But people starting to talk about Bochy. He's doing it again. Texas was well out of this thing a month ago. Look now. Houston, I think, is 1 up on Seattle and 2 up on Texas now in the AL West. Bochy.
I read
Your
that
guy.
I read that Bruce Bochy. No, I'm not. This is not my opinion.
Right.
I read that Bruce Bochy may be out after this year.
I read the same. Not fired, but just that he kind of wants out. And maybe he would like to work his way back to San Francisco, where Bob Melvin was going to be fired until about a month or 2 weeks ago when the Giants started winning all the time again.
Yes, that is true.
There's a lot of talk about those things, but let's at least let Boch finish the season here in Texas. And who knows, with him, he may end up with another World Series by the time it's over. This guy, he's been living right for a while now.
Yes, he has.
He's a great manager, but there's a lot of great managers who don't win 4 world titles. Bochy has done that. 4. That's a,
That's
what I
a
mean?
lot.
Yeah. Like with a different team, you throw it in there with
2 teams, yeah.
And with the Rangers, an organization who'd never won anything. Like the Rangers were, for lack of a better phrase, kind of the Padres of the American League. In their history, they'd been to 2 World Series, they'd lost them both, and had never really been close otherwise. Bochy got there. Champs. Champ is here.
Champ is here.
You know what's funny? Name 5 guys from that Ranger team.
Corey Seager.
I know it's Corey Seager, but
Corey Seager. Marcus Simeon.
Simeon, okay.
Nathan Valdi.
Valdi, all right.
Nathaniel Lowe.
Let's see, first base.
Yep, and Evan Carter.
Rookie.
Yep.
That year. Not bad.
Boom.
Yeah, he did well.
Boom shakalaka.
Well, I mean, I think
you were hoping that I couldn't.
I was trying to make a point that there was kind of a no-name team, and it still really kind of is a no-name team.
Don't ask me for anyone else.
Right.
Oh, Austin Hedges.
Yay, leading the cheers.
Leading the cheers.
He was. I can't give Austin a whole lot more credit than that.
What are you talking about?
I know he'd like more credit than that, but he's not getting it.
Who was their main starting catcher? I thought it was him.
No, God, no.
Let me go see.
Jonah Heim? I don't know.
That does make sense.
It's kind of a forgettable team. I really was. I don't remember who it was, but I know Hedges was on the bench.
Was this 2023, right?
Yes, when they beat the Diamondbacks in the World Series.
Most random World Series ever.
It was. They got there, by beating the Astros in the ALCS, and that 7-game series, the home team did not win a single game in that Astro Ranger series that year.
They had on their World Series roster, they had Hedges, Garver, Mitch Garver, and Jonah Heim.
Okay. Yeah, Hedges was third.
Oh,
string.
John Gray was on that team. Apparently, Max Scherzer was on the team.
I don't remember him at all.
Martin Perez was on the team. Oh, here's a good one. Jordan Montgomery.
He had a hot run there.
Oh, he did. He did.
Yeah.
everything's gone downhill since then.
Their closer was not all that big a deal either. The guy just got hot at the right time. Right-hander. He's escaped my name now for whatever reason.
Aroldis Chapman.
No.
Andrew Heaney.
No. Chapman was not the closer in the playoffs.
Bradford.
No.
Spores. Oh, is it Will Smith?
No. Will Smith was on that team, but he was not the closer in the playoffs. It was a right-hander who just
Okay, I'll just keep naming names.
Really? He's
Jose Leclerc.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's who it was. Leclerc. He got hot.
All right.
And he closed out a bunch of games in the playoffs. So it was a weird year, but Bochy was there for it. All right, that's enough talk about the Rangers, I would say, for a while.
You're the one who brought them up.
What do you got for football? Anything on your mind other than
what do I got for football?
Purdy's unlikely to play and now could miss weeks. 49ers play the Saints this week. That's a gimme, isn't it? Do you ever you do because you're a 49er fan. You get arrogant and you talk about how a game's just a gimme.
Okay.
If you looked at the rest of the schedule, you know who's playing this weekend in the NFL? Pretty good matchup.
The Ravens are playing the Browns.
Okay, that's not what I was
I know
referring
the Chiefs
to.
are playing the
I don't want every
Eagles.
game. I wanted that game.
The Chiefs playing the
Yes, I
Eagles.
wanted to talk about the marquee game.
Oh, before you get into it, can I rant for 1 minute?
Please.
I was going to say 1 second, but I'm going to say 1 minute. The more I think about this Jalen Carter non-suspension, the more angry I'm getting at the NFL.
Right.
They said that his suspension counted because he was ejected in the beginning of the game.
Right.
I'm sorry. You spit on someone and you're ejected in the game. That's the punishment for spitting on someone, is being ejected. And then the punishment from the league is an additional game. I cannot believe that they said he had already served his time and is getting out on good time.
We went over this question yesterday, and I originally thought I'd like to see the NFL, lock him up and throw away the key. Because I just don't like Jalen Carter. I'm not a fan of this guy in any way. But the more I thought about it, he served a game. He didn't play in that game. Hear me out. And so I thought, you know what? In baseball terms, 1/17 of the schedule is like missing 10 games. So I thought that's a pretty fair suspension. Sends the message, don't do that again. But then you brought it back up a third time. And what you said, honestly, now makes better sense to me than all of it before.
Wow.
Because here's where you're correct. I don't even know if you know it.
I don't. I have no idea what you're
talking about. But here's where
about.
you're correct. He was ejected from the game for his actions.
Yes.
That was a result of what he did. So by saying his suspension has already been served, you're basically not giving him a suspension at all.
Yeah, you're giving him time served is what I was listening.
Time served is what he got. So don't tell us that you're suspending him. He was never suspended. He was ejected from that game. That is a different thing altogether.
I agree.
If there was a suspension, it would have had to begin in week 2.
Yes.
Because week 1, he was not suspended. He was ejected for his actions. And so, now my third time on this story, but I'm kind of with you. I think he should have gotten another game because the game that he missed was because of his own doing and an ejection. If you want to give him a suspension, which you should, that should be an additional game.
And I do not want to hear anybody tell me, well, Dak did it first, because you know what? I have never even thought of spitting on anyone in my life. That is just a line that human beings don't cross. That is one of the lines that you just don't cross.
Well, Dak spit. He did not spit at or on Jalen Carter.
At them, but he didn't spit on them. I understand.
Yeah, Dak's not 100% in the clear here.
No,
and
but
Dak
he didn't cause it either.
I'd be honest with you. Dak's kind of a, airhead as well.
What?
Not my favorite.
Neil says in the chat, there are numerous instances where people spit on other people in the NFL, and there's always been a fine. There's never been a suspension. I don't care.
Well, it's high time.
It is. If you
Your guy Romanowski did it way back in the day.
And he was caught on camera, and it was much worse than what Jalen Carter did.
And
I think he spit into the face.
I think they wrote him a check for $500.
I don't know that they did that, but I think they were very upset. But and this has nothing to do with the Eagles and my love of the 49ers. This is all to do with, like, if you're going to create a place where you really want sportsmanship to be top of mind for these athletes, you have to have done something to make an example.
Understand that in the offseason, the NFL, which they always do, had their meetings, and a point of emphasis this year is sportsmanship. Okay? Kind of like when they do, point of emphasis is going to be illegal procedure. And then the first 6 games, like every time the ball is put in play, there's an illegal procedure. And like, enough already. Yeah, enough. Okay, we get it. And then the announcer says, well, that's a point of emphasis this year. All right. Well, the point of emphasis this year is sportsmanship. Pretty hard. And if you're in the first game of the season, somebody does that and you don't at least penalize it in some way.
I agree. I mean, ejection is a punishment, but it's not.
I know I'm old school. I know get off my lawn. I know that I ref high school basketball, and it's a different world there where when the kids don't show sportsmanship, we are told, and they do receive technical fouls, because we're trying to at least pass along the right message that every time you make a jump shot, you don't get to get in the face of the other kid. You know, get down the court and make it look like you know what you were doing.
You have to make it standard.
So the NFL, you know, I think it's time, because the sportsmanship has reached a point of crisis where just about everybody has to mouth off after everything that they do. So I'm behind the NFL on this, but I disagreed with their decision on Carter. I think you should have got more, but I also don't like Carter to begin with. So that has to be factored into my commentary.
We do have to put aside the fact of his past, and I got a message from someone, well, he murdered 2 people. I think that's going a little far, because he was not driving the car that did end up crashing and killing those 2 people. But he was racing, and he supposedly
certainly part of the responsibility. And somebody else brought up the fact that him, by doing the spitting thing, that has brought everybody back to his car race. Oh, you said, but you're right. Because I don't think we forgot about the car racing thing. But Jalen Carter was starting to carve out a bit of a career as a good player and a champion and all that.
Yeah.
And now all the talk is back about his negative stuff. That's his fault for, doing that.
I'm also surprised that the Eagles players didn't have more of a reaction. Jalen Hurts was like, yeah, we talked about it. It's in the past. Like,
that's a tough one.
Because they could be dealing with it internally.
Well, we also said the other day, Angel Reese shouldn't be calling out her own players in the media. So I don't know that the Eagles should be calling him out either.
Okay.
Publicly. I hope, and I imagine somebody privately said, man, enough. Enough is enough.
I don't know if this is true, but Eric on the chat says you have to play 2 snaps in order to qualify for a played game. If you play under that, then it's like you didn't play that game. He got ejected the first snap.
He got ejected. Yeah, no, Eric, you're not wrong, but make no mistake, he got ejected. He was not suspended from the first game.
Yeah.
He was ejected.
But he's saying that the game doesn't count unless you play 2 snaps. I've never heard that before. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I've never heard it. I would have to look into that to see. But still, it doesn't matter. You do what you do. You have to pay for it.
Thursday night game's pretty good. Washington at Green Bay. So that'll kick things off.
Bang,
but that's
bang,
tomorrow. We don't have that game because we have Padres tomorrow. We do have Roundtable tomorrow morning. Should be fun. Hopefully we'll be coming off a Padre win. Join us at 10 a.m. for an hour free of commercial-free Padre talk. Till then, for Scraby, Tony, Crisello, enjoy your rest of your Wednesday night. And we'll see you when the weekend starts going downhill tomorrow.
Don't even put that into the universe.
No, downhill as in like we're getting toward the end of the week.
Okay. I thought you were talking about Rockies.
No.
I took it too far in my head.
You did.
Sorry about that. Bye.